Hi, I'm Dr. Chris. I'd like to tell you a little bit about dark light coaching. I've actually had a hard time figuring out what to even name this because I wanted something that embodies what I deliver. And what I deliver is awakening, but it's not always couched because the terms, the definitions, all these words, once we get into them, are so individual. The way we feel them in our bodies, the way we experience them, the way we understand them, and how we relate. So there's plenty of courses out there for awakening. There's plenty of programs. There's a million books, and all of them have a lot of value. What I found is traditionally what we're doing is chasing and building the light. And that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. We have to cultivate this inner fire. We have to know who we are. What I found in 30 years of practicing, and I've listened to all of them, I've gone to India, I've seen the teachers, I've gone on the silent retreats, I've gone on the meditation retreats, I've seen everyone and tried every technique. I had been suffering from depression for most of my life, and that was the fire that was under me to give me that perseverance, strength, and drive to keep doing it. What I found is the people out there, they tend to work to try to help us feel good. No one really wants to feel bad. The problem is we push away parts of ourselves that we don't want to face, what we would call ugly, unpleasant, or unwanted. Completely understandable. We are pleasure seeking and we want to avoid pain. The problem, and we get into this farther during the coaching sessions, is really, but how is that pain perpetuating itself in your life? Because we are both creators and experiencers of this reality. Whether or not you would like to admit it, you're creating your reality. I'm creating my reality. The challenge becomes to embody that. And we need to find who we are. We need to clear the noise. We need to be present in ourselves to be able to create the reality that's true. So, who am I? Dr. Chris. I've been practicing medicine since 2008. Yeah, it's been a little while. Um, I've been doing coaching for the past 5 or 6 years, and I've studied many kinds of coaching. I can tell you, I've studied techniques that are relatively well known that I find to be just not effective. A lot of them use essentially what would be stage hypnosis to try to make someone feel better, but without actually dealing with the underlying issues. And a lot like having a virus in the computer, you need to clean the virus out. You can't just pop in more memory. You can't just make it feel better. You need to clean the virus out if you want your computer to run right. Our bodies are the hardware. Our programming, our deep feelings, emotions, etc., that's the software that's running. So if we have a lot of junk, it's going to show up as muscle tension. It's going to show up as conflict in our lives. It will show up in so many ways, but I promise you it will show up. And what I do through dialogue with my clients is help them to find where they're stuck, to see it clearly, and then to work on strategies and understandings to work through and embody their whole self. Now, I use a lot of techniques, and some of them I don't do online. I'll do this also using embodiment techniques and body work and acupuncture. I'll find tight points on people and help to release them. I recently have a patient I'm working on, and I'm doing a technique that is absolutely phenomenal and using it to clear tight spots in his body. And the rate of his awakening, he's not even trying to do an awakening. This gentleman is off the charts in where his consciousness, because his vibration is able to effortlessly continue to increase as we clear away the obstruction. And in his case, we're doing the coaching and the acupuncture simultaneously. And you could think of it like tuning forks. If there's gunk on the tuning fork, it's not going to make a good resonance. As we clear that off, it becomes more and more clear and able to get to more refined vibrations. So, what do? I do whatever has to be done. I deliver to a person what they need. I have this ability, a gift, of extremely precise and focused consciousness and presence to be able to hear with my clients where there is an inability to see or an obstruction. I recently have worked on several people who have high level awakening experiences but still are stuck in a lot of what we would call the unpleasantness. But it's not unpleasant at all. It's just what we do, the spiritual bypassing that all of these teachers and all of these programs, and I promise you, if I may even one day put a smattering of whom I've studied with, none of them want to go into this because it's not pretty, it's not fun, it's not unicorns. But it's so liberating. It becomes fun very, very quickly as we begin to see, wow, I'm bigger than this problem. But we can't grow if we're going to continue to be held in by walls. And we put up the walls early on to protect ourselves. And they stay there and they persist, and we don't even notice our prison anymore until we have the courage to really dive down. And sometimes to ask for help, to get someone who's able to operate like a surgeon and assist us in removing that software, that virus. I call them parasites because they sap our energy and they're inauthentic to our being. And to remove that from our field so we can have that clear, beautiful resonance and our consciousness can continue to go higher. And by higher, I mean more connected with ourselves, comfortable in our skin, learning to love, learning to be present. And there's so much more. I can't even begin to describe where we can go and how quickly. But I do promise you, and yes, I'm using that word, I do promise you that you will get results beyond your expectations. So there's a link below. If you want to have a chat, you'll find out what it's all about. I look forward to speaking with you. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.